Jordan Fish was originally brought in to help shape Bring Me the Horizon sound, becoming a key member of the band and helping create one of the most important albums in the metal scene, 2013's Sempiternal. The fan base was split with Jordan's arrival, with some loving Bring Me's new sound, while the deathcore gatekeepers wagged their fingers at him for daring to change the MySpace sensations. Love him or hate him, you can't deny the impact Jordan Fish had on the band, which is why fans were so shocked that at the end of 2023, Bring Me announced that they had parted ways with Jordan, leaving fans stunned. This came after months of speculation, partly from myself, about Jordan potentially leaving the band, as I spoke about in this TikTok, which is definitely strange considering the circumstances. Reports are surfacing that Jordan Fish was actually fired from the band months ago, with the reason being that he didn't think it was fair how the revenue and royalties were split amongst the band, with Jordan, Ollie and Lee doing most of the heavy lifting, but the band splitting the rev equally across all members. Where fans were speculating his departure due to his absence from the live tours, and also Posthuman Next Gen being repeatedly pushed back due to unforeseen circumstances. Even with the speculation, fans refused to believe the rumours, as it seemed impossible that the band would ever lose a member, even to the point my tweets caused some of the most hardcore stans to direct me towards unaliving, which none of them apologised for after, when it was all confirmed to be true. But anyway, we move on. But what does this mean for Bring Me the Horizon moving forward? Is this the start of the end for the band? Will their careers start winding down? Or is this another chance for Bring Me the Horizon to break through all the normal expectations of the music scene once again? For some reason, Jordan gets a ton of hate for Bring Me moving away from their early deathcore roots, as if he's the sole reason for their change of sound, cracking the whip at Ollie and telling him he can no longer do the roar or something. Yes, Jordan was a key figure in the development of Bring Me's sound, but you're batshit crazy if you don't think the rest of the band wanted his help to evolve. The man himself explains it much better than I can in his own words, as he spoke on Finn McKenty's podcast.
Bring Me kind of fell just after that. I knew the name, but I was not buying Kerrang when I was 18, 19. You know what I mean? I'd moved on from that kind of thing in my head. You know what I mean? Obviously not. But so yeah, I knew the band, but I didn't realize. I didn't really know their back catalogue that well, if I'm honest. So
that's probably a good thing, I would imagine, for this kind of role, because you guys are not a band that stays in one place.
Well, I mean, that was the main thing I kind of was surprised by, was that there was pretty much zero regard for anything that had been before whatsoever. I mean, I was probably the person, and at this point I wasn't even in the band, and I would say I was the person who was most concerned about what we were making. You know what I mean? Because I was kind of like,
yeah.
It seems like your fans are going to really dislike this music.
Right.
But he was just like, I don't care, basically. That was the general vibe. And to be fair, all the other guys were the same. Everyone was like, well, we like it, so fuck them.
The whole episode is a really good listen, so you should check it out. But for now, here's a clip. Jordan first joined the band after There Is a Hell album, initially providing guidance and insight, before officially making his own mark on the band's discography with the now iconic 2013 Sempiternal. Even in the early days, Jordan could see that while Ollie was super ambitious and had an insane work ethic, he did need some guidance. As he recalled, the first time he ever met Ollie was followed by a 16 to 18 hour non-stop writing session, which to Jordan's own admission was sick in the head.
Hours we were putting in to try and just like get one chorus or one verse, or it was fucking actually sick in the head, to be honest. Like, we would work for a whole day. I mean, like a 16-hour day on like.
But it just proved how far Ollie was willing to push the boundaries. But this pairing ended up being historic. I'm trying to keep this video shorter, so I'll have to speed run the band's history, so just bear with me. Over a span of 11 years, the band released EPs and albums that completely changed the public perception of Bring Me the Horizon. The band incorporated gent, new metal, alt rock, and even recently returned to their old deathcore roots. Jordan was essentially to the band what Mike Shinoda was to Linkin Park. He not only acted as a producer and keyboardist for the band, along with providing vocals mainly during the live shows, but he acted like a team leader, bringing everyone together and really being the catalyst that allowed all of Ollie's ideas to come to life. Fast forward to 2024, and Jordan has helped Bring Me to get their first ever Platinum Award with 2013 Sempiternal.
Sempiternal, Bring Me the Horizon!
a Grammy nomination with Ammo, earned several award wins and nominations, including Best Band in the World at the 2020 Kerrang Awards, and gave Jordan the perfect sign-off by headlining Download Festival, the UK's biggest metal gig, in 2023. So, with all this in mind, now we've laid out the impact that Jordan has had on the band. Does this signal the end of Bring Me the Horizon? Absolutely not. And this is why. Jordan's influence on Ollie Sykes is not to be undermined. I mean, even to go back to my boy Finn's podcast with Jordan, he goes on to explain that Ollie was essentially tone deaf and could not sing when they first started, before he became the extremely talented vocalist that he is now.
And he was like, I really want to sing. And he couldn't sing. He'd never sung before. He was tone deaf, to be honest. I mean, I have said this before. He said it, but it's actually true. You know, he really couldn't sing at all.
Not only did Ollie learn how to sing, but he also learned production techniques and delved deeper into that side of things, picking Jordan's brain as the band released album after album, consistently changing their sound every time. And then a weird blessing in disguise happened: COVID. The COVID lockdown led to Ollie starting to experiment more with production himself, refining his skills even further, and even led to the band reaching out to other producers to add their own flair to songs, with the most notable being Mick Gordon. And if you don't know Mick Gordon, you bloody should.
My name is Mick Gordon. I make music and sound effects for video games.
As he is responsible for one of the best gaming soundtracks of all time, Doom. Ollie's new addiction to the production elements seemed to coincide perfectly with rumours that Jordan wanted to tour less to spend more time with his family, which, if this is true, is a huge W, by the way, and a lot of fathers could learn from that. But this led to Bring Me outsourcing more of their production outside of the band, as shown by some of their recent releases where Jordan Fish is not listed as a producer. Following the single releases, the band started hinting that once again, they were completely changing their sound. And Ollie proved himself to be more than capable of handling the outsourcing and assisting of the production elements in their latest tracks. But if one sneaky Instagram story was anything to go by, even if Jordan was actually absent towards the last few months of his career with Bring Me, he still found a way of leaving his legacy in the upcoming album, as at the bottom of Ollie's story you can see, left to do, see production Bible, hinting that Jordan may have left a master guide to help the band get through the release of Posthuman Next Gen. So, what's next for both Jordan and Bring Me? Well, Mr. Fish is having no problems finding work, as he's already been spotted working in the studio with Spiritbox, while also producing Architect's latest single, Curse. And for Bring Me the Horizon, I think it's safe to say they'll be just fine, as the release of Posthuman Next Gen is just around the corner, and they seem intent on collecting the fucking Infinity Stones of live tours, announcing some insane lineups with the likes of Sleep Token, and a tour featuring Motionless in White and Spiritbox in Brazil. So, while you're waiting for Next Gen's release, why not check out my documentary on the history of Bring Me the Horizon to keep you busy?